Okay, hey, so I feel a bit sick, but yeah, this week was good, but I didn't get a lot done because the first 2 days I was slacking off a bit. So yeah, so for this week, I wanted to make something I can post, so I was thinking of making a toaster because I did do some kitchen appliances in the past. So I kind of wanted it to be kind of automated, kind of like a robot toaster type thing. So I was thinking of like kind of like having a conveyor belt where it has the bread that will be brought up into the toaster, and then some kind of robot that sauces or butters whatever you want to do with the toast after. So yeah, so here I'm making the conveyor belt, and then some kind of like nozzle so it will spray, so it will dollop the kind of like um jam on it. So yeah, so I didn't really like that, so we started again. So the thing with these though is they weren't as smooth as I wanted them to be. So yeah, this is the second attempt. It was better. I also added some different bits. I wanted to do kind of like a batteries or some kind of cell thing on the side poking out to make it kind of steampunky and very mechanical. But yeah, with this kind of thing, I didn't like it. I think no, I mean I know I didn't like it. It just looks too like clean cut, if you get what I mean. It looks too kind of straight edged for me, especially because I do kind of cartoony assets. So yeah. Also added a number pad, but again, this is kind of useless because yeah, I start again anyway. But yeah, this week was good. I managed to stream for about 7 hours, which is an achievement because normally I can't do more than 2 hours just because either friends are disappearing or yeah, there's I don't know. So yeah, I normally just stream through an hour to 2 hours and then stop. But yeah, it was a big nice stream. We played Valorant and we played some League. Did some blend in between because Adam disappeared, but yeah, it was a nice experience. So the whole concept of this is this robot has grabby arms to make it kind of mechanical, and it's gonna have like a little face UI screen on the top. So yeah, so I used a cylinder, as you see, to map out kind of how I wanted the arm to curve, and then used subdivision to make it just a lot smoother. So here's making me toast. I did try to deform the arm on the left to make the arm on the right, but to me it just didn't deform correctly and didn't look right. So yeah, this is me making kind of like the sauce bottle, because I was debating if I wanted to add another arm or not. So yeah, also there's a fan in the back because I thought like sometimes I don't really put a lot on the back of the model because you don't tend to see it. But yeah, this model's quite simplistic, I think, but it's kind of high topology. Not like really, not extreme high topology, but definitely a lot higher than I usually do. So yeah. I was gonna bevel all of this, but I do decide not to, and I just subdivision it because, yeah, I didn't bevel. To me, I kind of use that more on realistic things or things that I want straight edges with. But yeah, I also extruded bits on the sauce bottle to make it look more like a sauce bottle. Like I could do that in texturing, but I just kind of wanted to do base colors and texturing and not anything kind of normal related. So yeah. I did loop cuts on here to kind of define the subdivisions, so yeah. I gave it a base as well, so this kind of looks a lot more smoother and kind of cartoony compared to the first one. Then I kind of added a dial on the front just to give it kind of more stuff on the front, especially then sorry. So yeah, I was gonna add kind of like the thing, you know, the thing that you pull down on the toaster to make it toast. So yeah, but I kind of wanted to do kind of like a dial instead. So yeah, I was gonna make a pot of jam, but then I didn't really like it. I was gonna make a plate also to put the toast on, but I do opt out of that again. So yeah, a lot of trial and error though with these things. So yeah, I didn't do a lot of work this week. I think this video, videos were 9 hours, about 9 hours long, which is not bad, but a lot of the times it was very trial and error or things going wrong, but I recorded it anyway, so yeah. So I just modeled the other arm and then twisted it around. Then I was gonna try and put the pieces of bread on a curve rather than me having to place them manually, but I still don't get how the kind of curve modifier works with the array modifier, so I kind of just decided to stack them myself. So yeah, also did a little texture for the kind of napkin where the bread will sit on, so yeah. I was gonna do texturing in Blender, but I do bring it into Substance, which is annoying because I do have to unwrap it. But I'm proud of how I unwrapped this, even though I did forget to unwrap some kind of details on the model, so I do go back and do that. Luckily the texturing wasn't going well, so I was redoing the textures anyway. So yeah. These arm things were very difficult to unwrap, to be honest, because they're such a weird shape and they don't unwrap in a nice kind of way, a nice looking way. So yeah, in the end I do kind of make them into squares, so I kind of align. So here, yeah, I just wait, is it here? I mean, I think it's here. But I just align the different vertices and just make it into a square. It just makes it easier to put it on the kind of UV map. Also, it's not necessary to have like that kind of large shape. So yeah, this is me doing it now. It looks like it takes forever, which it feels like it does, because you're just pressing the same button, and then when they kind of overlap, sometimes you don't know which one you should align or not. So yeah. Trying to fix some weird shapes that you get when you unwrap kind of things like faces inside, like extruded parts inside, like here that I'm doing now. So yeah, it was kind of difficult to unwrap that because I kind of want it square to look like a square rather than what it looks like now. So I kind of did that manually by aligning the vertices again, like with the arm. So yeah, it looks fine. And then you don't really see in there anyway, there's no detail in there, so I don't need to make it a big part or anything, so yeah. Also layered the different claw parts on top of each other just because it was easier like that, plus they're not really going to have detail on it, I was just going to texture them a flat colour. So yeah, also got rid of some faces that I don't need. So yeah, I do this mostly when I'm UV unwrapping because you don't want to unwrap that if you're not going to texture it. So yeah, so I delete all these faces because you're not going to see them. But when I put this into Substance, it's really annoying because a lot of the times the faces clip, which is annoying to deal with because, especially because it was the whole kind of base toaster part. So when I'm trying to do details, I can't because it's clipping. So yeah, that's a pain in the ass, but yeah, I could make the models thicker, but then that means more UVs. So yeah, it's just kind of like a whole process. So yeah. I unwrapped the bottle as well. Maybe I could have done a separate UV for the bottle and the toast, but I feel like it wasn't necessary, especially because I wasn't going into detail with the bottle. If I made kind of like a brand up and really textured it with kind of like a logo, and then I wanted actual text, the writing, I would have done that, but yeah. But sometimes it's better to do the writing by hand, but then sometimes it's not, because if you do it by hand it's very irregular, but then it gives it the kind of cartoony style. But then yeah, so this is me baking it. So for this try I kind of mess around with the materials a bit. So yeah, I wanted the toaster to be red because I don't know if that's just me, but when I think of the toaster, I just think of the red toaster. Maybe that's because we had a red toaster, but yeah. Just, yeah, colouring the bottle as well. So I wanted the bottle to be peanut butter, like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I never had one, but I think they're like kind of like an iconic thing. So yeah, it's sad because I really didn't like the texturing of this. So I wanted the arm to have kind of like a robot kind of look. So I wanted I don't know how to explain it, but kind of like stripes. If that makes any sense. I mean, you'll see on the final render anyway, because that's how I did it. But yeah, damn. But yeah, so for this I did add a label, but I didn't really like it. I don't think it needed one. It just didn't fit into place, kind of like the bright white color. So yeah, I could have toned it down a bit, but I just didn't like it. So yeah, I did add some gunge to this. So I'm just kind of disappointed because I don't actually use this because I just didn't like how it looked. And that happened for quite a bit of the textures. Sometimes it just doesn't look how you want it to look. I could have just like been like, oh, we just get out like that anyway, but I just wanted it how I wanted it to look. So yeah. And I also forgot, I completely forgot to do this video yesterday, so it's coming out today. But yeah. But I'm really kind of pushing this whole business thing with kind of selling my work. So yeah, I'm gonna put 3 posters up, possibly more, on a store and then see how it goes. So yeah, I'm proud of the posters I've done, but it'll be exciting to see if people are interested in it or not. So yeah. Damn, I can't talk today. I feel like ass, my nose hurts like hell. So yeah, so for this I was just focusing on the base color rather than kind of roughness and stuff like that. So yeah, I had kind of that panel, but then I realized I have a dial there, so you're not gonna see it, because on the original design there was a kind of like metal panel instead of a switch or a dial. So yeah, so this is kind of getting closer. I kind of wanted hinges almost, not I don't really know, but like a connection type thing with kind of like stripy bits. It doesn't make sense, but it will when you see it. Like, yeah, I'm just really bad at explaining things. I also added kind of some noise texture to break it up. I don't know, I feel bummed talking about this because, yeah. So, okay, wait, I think this is this the final? I don't know. So, for the final one, I kind of use a lot of base colors and then gradients, just kind of like simple texturing. I don't overcomplicate it too much. So yeah, okay, here we go. So you see on the arms, it's kind of like lines. So I kind of wanted it like that because it looks kind of robotic, and also I wanted to add some texture to the arms rather than it just being a solid color. So yeah, also played around with a lot of different settings, like the filters and kind of generators and substance. I wish I kind of tried more and kind of use them more because they are useful, just I don't really know how to use them sometimes. So yeah, and I gave it a little face. The face is kind of nice, so yeah, just a little smile. So yeah, I really like this asset, to be honest. I think it looks pretty cool. So yeah, the toast, I think I painted myself because I tried to use the kind of curvature bit to because there's the crust and then the crust and then the inside of the crust. No, the what do we call this? But yeah, so that bit's normally more lighter than the crust. So I was trying to do that, but with the curvature kind of generator, but that didn't really work. So yeah, just kind of adding kind of screws and then dots around. So yeah, kind of simple texturing definitely for this, but I kind of like the minimalistic kind of look I went for this. But yeah, so this week I did this, and then 2 other posters. Well, just one, So for Christmas, I wanted to do some Christmas posters to then draw attention to my shop, because it's kind of a seasonal thing, kind of limited thing. So yeah, but I didn't want to do kind of Christmas posters as in like Christmas hats, blah blah blah, because I feel like if you're gonna buy a poster for someone, you're not gonna buy a poster for them because it's Christmas related. I don't know, but like I feel like if it's just have Christmas elements, then you're more likely to buy it for someone, rather, because then it can't really be reused other than Christmas. So yeah, so I came up with an idea of an oven with a mouth and a chicken is running away and it has sharp teeth. So yeah, I thought this was a really cool and fun concept. So yeah, I also add chicken legs in the background, which I think is really cool. I like the look and kind of the stylization of this. It looks really kind of fun, bouncy, and yeah. So yeah, so it's kind of themed, but it's not too in your face, so it's kind of very like flexible. So yeah, I might do one more of these just to see how it goes. So yeah, I don't know what kind of thing to do next. Like, I just want a loosely based theme, something kind of funny as well, kind of like wacky, if that's a word. So yeah, I tried to make the chicken in Blender, but I suck at making animals or people. I really wanna. I was really inspired by character modeling with the Blender, and that's why I wanted to get into Blender. But of course, that's the one thing I can't do. So yeah, I tried to make smoke with kind of spheres, but then the matter balls were just so much better because my cloud kind of texture I made ages ago worked so much better with them. I mean, it only works with them. So yeah, also I used a particle system for the kind of chicken drumsticks. So yeah, added a lot of random rotation on them. Then the cooker accidentally became pink, and then I just kind of went with the theme. So yeah, I just kind of left it pink. Here I was trying to do so on the chicken poster underneath there's kind of like a gradient, and it's kind of like transparent where the black part of the gradient is, if that makes any sense. So I tried to do the same but with tiles as well, so tiles kind of fall off as the gradient goes out, if that makes any sense, but I just couldn't do it. So yeah, just kind of textured this with Blender, didn't bring it into Substance. I just think kind of like the matte colors worked a lot better than kind of fully textured. I turned the contrast up, so yeah, it looks so much better now. So yeah, I also added eyes to the chicken drumstick. Okay, here we go. I think it's cool. It gives kind of like more kind of cartoony aspect to it. So yeah, it's pretty fun. I was also gonna do kind of like waves of smoke on the pot, but I didn't really like it. So yeah. Also made kind of this background green. So I rendered this. The renders take forever, by the way. So yeah, and in the end the green just doesn't look good for me. Like it just didn't look amazing to me, so I do have to render this again in yellow. But yeah, I like it. And then again I put it into Illustrator. I don't think, is it here? I don't know if there's any footage of it, but I swear I did it. So yeah, so I added some text on it, and then kind of like flames, the where the cook was, just kind of things like on the chicken poster. So yeah, I didn't do a lot today, well, last week, this week, which kind of sucks, but yeah, it was a productive week though, nonetheless. So yeah, I'm just really procrastinating about this kind of whole shop thing, just because of the whole like, what if it doesn't work, or yeah, so, and it's just about kind of getting everything ready, plus I don't really know how to do this or how it works. So yeah, it's just really confusing. So yeah, plus I don't really want to mess it up or so yeah. Um yeah, it's just kind of difficult, especially when you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, hopefully uh the shop gets set up by tomorrow. It's just the whole thing of having everything. I have to get the prints printed and then packaging and also figuring out how much postage would cost. So yeah, very just yeah, very confusing to be honest. Especially if you've never like done anything like this before, but yeah. Hopefully, I don't know, I just wanted kind of like a whole like big thing because Christmas is a big kind of season event holiday. Okay, there you go, holiday. So yeah, I kind of wanted to do something for Christmas because then it would drive traffic, and then once people find my stuff, they can later if they find something they like. So yeah, hopefully we get something done and sorted out because I am really excited to do this. Just yeah, I've just got a lot of questions and it's yeah. But anyway, yeah, so I will see you next week and hopefully the shop is done by then. But yeah, bye and thank you.